I want to change things up a bit. You've probably watched a video or two on full self-driving and have seen how well it performs, or doesn't perform in different situations. However, if you're like me, you may still be wondering how close full self-driving comes to achieving a driving level matching that of an experienced human driver. To hopefully answer that, I'm going to begin using a scoring system when I test drive each new update of Tesla's full self-driving. I've created the system based on the following 4 categories. Now, the first and foremost are safety issues. This is basically anything the car would attempt to do under full self-driving that would fail a driving test. Second is speed control. This includes how well the vehicle maintains the set speed and the rate that it accelerates following a turn or when starting the vehicle from a full stop. Third is turning abruptness. Anything that feels too jerky as compared with what I experience when I'm with a human driver will be scored. And finally, the route control. Does the car enter and stay in the correct lane and stay in the lane that makes sense for the route? Each category will start out with a score of a 10 out of a possible 10. I'll deduct a point from the appropriate category whenever I encounter an issue. For this drive and upcoming drives, I'll follow a 20-minute route that includes situations drivers may encounter every day, such as stoplights, city streets, driving on a freeway, and even a roundabout. I'll be sure to stay till the end of the video where I will sum up the score to give you an idea of the overall drive rating. And with that, let's get into the drive. So we're going to start right here on the Gauge Autopilot. So here we have the first turn, and this is a green light. And it slowed down to the light and just made the turn, so that worked pretty well. The reason I chose the drive at this time of day is because I wanted to see how full self-driving responded with a very low sun in the sky. So the sun is actually just above the horizon. It's about to set in about 20 minutes. And this should give a pretty good indication of how well the cameras and the camera vision in this car navigates on full self-driving. So there's a little bit of a hesitation for it to get started there. It was waiting for the car in front of me the truck in front of me to go, and now we're going through the intersection. A little bit jerky through this, but it did navigate, it did end up in the correct lane. A little bit of braking there, but I would expect that because the traffic was turning left in front of me, so I think that was an appropriate level of cautiousness. We're coming up on a left-hand turn. This is a light with a red arrow, so we'll see how it navigates through this. Good, and so it started on the green arrow very appropriately. The turn is just a little sharp. I mean, it's cutting this corner a little bit much. If there was a car there, I think it probably would have entered into their space. It is going to exit right here because I have set this gas station up as a waypoint. And this is interesting. It just doesn't know where to go once we get into this place. So I will go ahead and disconnect autopilot here. But overall, that leg was pretty good. I think it did a pretty fine job. So we're coming up on a left-hand turn, and this will be it's a single lane road, so it does not have markings down the middle of the road. Yesterday when I drove this just to kind of test it for route, I noticed that it was having difficulty determining where the edge of the road was and also maintaining correct road. So it stopped very inappropriately here in the middle of the road. I would have made that turn. There it goes. And now we'll see how it does maintaining the road. What I want to see it do here is drive on the pavement and not leave the pavement. And also maintain the right side of this road with no markings. So I do have the set speed at 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Speed limit's 35, and the car's going 27. So I see some hesitation in going the full set speed at this point. In terms of maintaining the pavement, I think it's doing a pretty good job. However, maintaining speed is not doing such a great job. We're coming up on a speed zone change that goes to 45 at this sign. It'll pick that up right here and show 45, which it does, and it increases the speed to 50, but yet we're still going 29 miles an hour here. So if we did have any traffic behind us, this would create an inconvenience for others. I would probably have people waiting to pass me if they had the opportunity. We're having a little bit of difficulty now maintaining the road, but it is still on the pavement, so I'm not going to mark it down for driving based on that. However, the set speed, I would like to see us getting closer to the 50 mile an hour speed max that we've established for this leg of the drive. Coming up is a roundabout, and we'll see how it enters and maintains the roundabout with traffic. There is traffic merging periodically from the left, although I don't see anything coming at this very second. Slowing down for the yield. There is a car coming into the roundabout. We'll see what happens here. So it is proceeding very slowly. Oh, it stopped right in front of that car. That was not good. There's a car entering, and it should have stopped and waited for that car to go by, but it didn't recognize it in time, and so it went into the roundabout, and then it slowed down in the middle of that entry, which would have put us in the way of that other vehicle. So I did hit the accelerator to get us through the roundabout and out of the other traffic's way. So we'll be merging over to the right to follow this, and I do see a vehicle coming up to the right of us. We'll see how well it does. It detected that car, and we'll be exiting right here. So turn signal is automatic, the camera comes up automatically. It does throw a tentacle through the intersection. There are 2 left turn lanes, but because I'll be taking another left, it did choose the leftmost lane. So that's actually very appropriate for lane navigation. We'll see how it does through this turn for smoothness. It's been a little jerky and hesitant through some of the other left turns. I will say I really like the new visualization. It gives you a lot of great situational awareness, including vehicles around you. We'll be making a left turn after this light, at the second light. and everything there went pretty smoothly. I actually like that turn. And I've set this up as our destination for this leg of the drive. This is Best Buy. I feel like it turned into here very well, and this ends our route. Alright, we'll say bye to our friends at Best Buy, and we will head to our next stop. So we want to do a little freeway driving just to show how the car navigates on freeway speeds, including merging traffic. So it made the right turn into the right lane. It wants to be in the left lane for the next turn, so it didn't make that with this initial turn. We'll see how it does. This is a very busy area with a lot of traffic, so I'm kind of interested to see how it navigates in between vehicles here to get into the left lane. I don't believe it's going to make this. Nope, we're going to cancel autopilot right there. So that was a fail. It wouldn't have been safe with all the traffic making a left turn at that point to try to cross two lanes. It had an opportunity earlier if the car had slowed down to a gap that was in between another vehicle that we passed. So it tried to overtake that vehicle and then still make a lane change for two lanes to make that left turn, and it just couldn't do it by the time the turn came up. So it wanted to slip in right at the last second, but there were already cars there. Got the set speed at 70, and we do have a merging car coming up here, so we'll see how it handles this. That wasn't too bad. And this will bring us to a grocery store, which I set as our next destination. The grocery store is a left-hand turn after we get onto this next road, so it did appropriately go into the left turn lane to follow the route. A little jerky through the turn. That color, the light did change from green to yellow as I was entering the intersection, so I think that was appropriate. I wouldn't have expected it to stop at that point. It is at a yellow arrow, and now it's a green arrow, so it'll go. Sometimes it does go on yellow arrows, sometimes it doesn't. And navigating through this turn is pretty good, a little jerky. And that's our destination. So we're at a three-way stop. I want to see how it handles this. Traffic coming from the left side does not stop. Other traffic does, and we've got the truck has the right-of-way, so that was appropriate. Now we have the right-of-way, we should be going. It's a little hesitant there. It did make the turn, but I would have made that a little faster. So this is a turn onto the freeway at a red light. Right turn on a red light. Did make the stop, and it waited for the green light to go. Solid acceleration. Now we're going to see how well we do merging onto the highway, the freeway. I think that was pretty good. So slowing down on this exit ramp is appropriate for the rate of deceleration for the turn that I would do. I didn't find this to be uncomfortably slow. I do tend to go a little faster up to the light, especially if it's green light, but I feel like the car did just fine there. This is a problematic lane change for the car. So it will take this turn lane right up to the end, and then to follow route, it will make the change right at the end. Oh, that's a fail. So we did not want to turn right here. I had to disconnect autopilot, and it went blazing into that intersection. We had the right of way for a right turn, however, I wasn't navigating to make a right turn at that point. So as you can see, I did have to divert off the route, and I'll get back on the route up here. So I would call that a fail. Nope. So this is interesting. I want to make a right-hand turn here, and there was a right turn lane right there that it just completely missed. So I'm going to take over at this point. I'm not going up to the terminal part of the airport, but rather over to some hangars here on this side. So that'll end our trip. So what did you think of this new scoring system? Do you think it's fair? I recognize that it's based on my opinion, and it's really quite arbitrary, but hopefully will provide a good starting point to compare driving between video to video. And that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.